they're like, we need a volunteer. And I think somehow I got picked. And the mission, like Mission Impossible, was that somebody need to go out to the ledge. Okay, we're probably about 7 to 8 floors up off the ground. And somebody was supposed to go out on the ledge. You know, the ledges are, I don't know, maybe a foot, maybe a couple of feet at most. I don't think the ledges were that big. I think it felt like maybe, 12 to 18 inches, something like that. That's out on the ledge like you see in every movie. And one of us would have to go out there, walk along the ledge outside, and then enter the room, Carl's room, and then open the door and to see if he was in there. And so here I am out on the ledge, late at night, in the middle of London, out on a ledge. If my mother had seen me, she would have had a heart attack. And so that's what I'm out there doing. I'm doing Mission Impossible, and I'm going along the ledge. And then I got to the window, and the window was open. I slid it up further. And back in those days versus now, I know a lot of hotels don't have windows that you can just open and jump, and enter from the outside. But back then in London, they did. And so I opened the window and I looked, and I could see Carl laying in his bed sleeping. And I was sort of pissed about it. Like, this dude has just been laying here the whole time, and we've been out for hours and hours looking for him. And so what I did, I'm like, okay, I'm going to prank him. So I actually jumped from the window ledge at the entrance of the window onto the bed, and I went, wake up! And when I said that, I heard a woman's voice says, who's that? And I was literally over her, a little white girl, and I was basically on all fours over her. And to this day, it's the strangest thing I have ever experienced. She didn't scream. She didn't seem nervous. She hardly felt startled. And she just says, what are you doing in here? And I said, oh, wrong room. I am so sorry. And she's like, okay. And she just opened the door and let me out. Can you imagine if that happened to you? You'd be freaking out in this day, somebody would be trying to shoot you, kill you, call the cops, the whole 9 yards. But that girl deserved I'm like, was she so dead drunk asleep? Was she on drugs? I don't understand how somebody could be so calm under circumstance, but she was. And so, anyway, found out it was the wrong room, so of course I had to go back out and go back around again. And then when I went to the other room, and so I went to the room, and he was not there. But when he finally showed up, and we're like, oh my God, it's so good to see you, Carl. It's so good to see you. And he, I said, where the hell have you been? And he was like, he didn't give a shit. It was like, whatever, like, why y'all getting all worked up about it? It doesn't matter. He just didn't care, and it really pissed us off that he just didn't care, and he put us through all the stress. And so we decided we're going to teach Carl a lesson. And so one day when him and the other kid, his drinking buddy, went off, we actually got into his room, and we got buckets and buckets of those trash cans. We filled them up with water, and when I say we poured water into that mattress, it was like a swimming pool. And then we gently pulled the covers back up and put the pillow there. And then we waited till he came in. We're like, is he here? We're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, we're listening when he went into his room. We're listening. All of a sudden, we hear, splash. And then he's like, oh! And then we all looked at each other. We laughed and we ran away. So that was us getting back, getting even, because he was being an asshole in that case. He didn't really care.